everybody, welcome to my channel. It is quite gloomy outside. The weather's been amazing recently, but it's a bit gloomy at the moment.
Hero is just crying if he gets put down.
I've just filmed my food shop and now I thought I would come on and just give a bit of an update because I definitely have an update to do and I'm not finding time to film it. So I have a few questions people have asked me which I will answer in this, and like some updates on just family life and moving and things like that. So first off, everyone wants to know about us moving home. So we are now not moving. I can't believe it. Like basically when we were in Cornwall, the lady who's like handling our situation, you've got a little tear. And she called me and she was like, oh hi Lauren, just an update on your sale process. Just to let you know that your buyer has had to pull out of the sale because he's been made redundant, so the sale can no longer go through. And I was just like, what? Like, she called me, like, if I was going to call someone and deliver them that news, I would be like, look, I'm really sorry, I have some really bad news, and then deliver it. But it was like, she gives me an update every week, and the phone conversation starts like every week. So just was a normal phone conversation. So yeah, our buyer has been made redundant, and he has had to pull out, which I guess is terrible for us, but at the same time, like, he has lost his job, so he's probably going through a lot more than we are. But we were literally like, we had just done like all our forms for our buying, and we were probably like a week from getting our completion date. I think we probably would have been moving literally around about now. It's not happening now. So I feel like, well, we feel like when we put our house on the market, the house was sort of in a state where it needed a bit of love, but we were moving, so we thought it wasn't a point where we had to do it. Like just some painting, the front garden needed sorting. Yeah, right, that should be me. But now what we've said is, our estate agent, we thought was a bit of a rip-off anyway. They charged us a lot. It was like 1.5%, and there's others around that are 1%. We didn't realise at the time. We were sold by the man that came round to talk to us. He was really nice, but then he had nothing else to do with the process, so they just weren't that great. We've done the front garden, so like we've got fences and a wall, and we've painted the wall and the fences. You'll know our garden's really sloped, that's why Kurt's built the deck in. And so outside the front it's like sloped down. And Curtis has, it's like really hard to know what to do with it. Up the top we painted some flowers, and then down the bottom we've got 4 bins, 2 recycling, 2 general waste. I think they give you 1 of each, and then we had to buy 2 because we have so much waste, we probably even need more than we got. But yeah, Curtis has cut like the slope at the bottom, like cut a big section out of it so the bins can slot in there, because otherwise they're on top of the grass and they didn't fit and it was a mess. So it's really, really nice, neat and tidy out there now. We're going to do some painting too. So we've got a few things to do. We're going to put it back on the market, maybe like in a month or 2, and hopefully it will work out from there. I don't know if the same house that we had like bought a house, I don't know if that's still going to be on there, but we've said like whatever's meant to be will be, because there's no point in getting stressed about it. I was gutted, and to tell the children, like when we had sold that, I didn't tell the children for ages. Said to Curtis, I just don't want to let them down. And then when we were like nearly like a week from completing, we told them a couple of weeks before, because I thought we're just at such a good point now. But they've taken it really well. Obviously our house is crammed, so that leads on actually to a question that I got asked. So the question was that they have 1 child and wanted a big family, but they came from a house of 2 parents, 2 children, like a standard sort of household. When I see those sort of families out, I find it really interesting, because I think like, I know it's still not easy, and I haven't got it, like it's not hard for me because I've got my children. It's just as hard if you've got 2 children. But I do think like, oh, I wonder what it's like to just have 2 children. It must just be so easy. But I don't mean that like disrespectfully. I know people struggle. Kids are kids. Kids are hard work. But I do find it interesting. So it says, we're wondering how you manage all housework, current and future planning, time management. So housework, I would love to have a cleaner. I would love it. I feel like if we didn't get like takeaways, or we cut back on like coffees out and things, we could probably afford like just someone to come around once a week, maybe before the weekend, just to help a little bit. But not that it is something I do, but it's something I would think about. I mean, our house isn't too big, is it? So it's not too hard to stay on top of. Curtis is very good at helping out, and I do think the boys are too. And if I need help with something, I will ask them to help me. Sometimes I'll say, normally just because my ratio, the others are too young, to one of them, could you please just load and unload the dishwasher, or could you pair those socks up, or if there's washing on the table, would you mind taking it up, sort it into people's piles, maybe like give the downstairs a hoover. That's all they'd be asked to do, really. Can't think of anything else they'd do. I feel like in other ways they're babied too much, because like I'll come down in the morning and make their cereal, make their packed lunch, and I think, is that babying them? Like Kurt's like Lonnie, they can make their own cereal. And sometimes I just think like it's easier for me just to get up and do it. It's so much easier. The boys do help out with a few things every now and again. I don't know. I don't really find it hard to stay on top of though. I think I just like tackle a bit at a time, and I wouldn't really say that my washing is a lot, so I probably do a few washes a day. I mean, you will notice a lot more washing, but other than that, I don't think you'll notice housework piling up on you. It's about the same as it always was. Our dishwasher goes on a lot in the day, and yeah, the washing machine too. But I don't think it's hard to stay on top of, but we've been quite like minimal recently, like we have got rid of a lot of things. Just having people around, like there's so many of us, to just say like, while I'm cooking dinner, to say to Horatio, would you mind just hoovering the front room please? They never mind helping at all. And then like, you know, I could say to Cosmo, could you get the washing off the line please? But if they're playing nicely, I wouldn't ask them to do anything. It's if they're sort of like sitting about and they're not really doing a lot, then I think may as well ask them to do me a favour. And they really enjoy helping me out. They like often will do it without me asking. But yeah, I personally myself don't really find it too hard to stay on top of. I mean, sometimes like I'll think, oh, I haven't cleaned the bathroom this week, so I have to quickly squeeze it in. But if you just quickly squeeze in what you need, it doesn't take too long. Current and future financial, I earn a bit from my YouTube, which I put into savings. And then other than that, Curtis is the earner. We have said we need to be more planned with our finances. We're not very good with it. Like, we'll know if we've got money to spend, but we don't know what we've got, and I don't think we budget well. We definitely need to budget well and save more. My money is all saved. Curtis's we probably just spend. Obviously our bills and stuff are a lot, but like I think it sort of like depends on your income as well. We don't budget well, but we're not reckless, we're quite good. We've got a savings that we both put into, and then I don't think too much of Curtis's goes into it really, because usually we spend it. Bills are a lot, food's a lot, everything does cost a lot. We do know what we've got or what we don't have, but I know I need to be more organised in that department, so this will actually help me to probably sort it out, because I'm not very organised. My dad's like very good, like he's got spreadsheets and things, and he puts his income on that every day, so he knows exactly what he's got, but I'm not planned like that. I think because we used to be really broke, to just not be now is nice, so we just enjoy it a lot. But yeah, we definitely should have an allowance of what we can and can't have each week. And time management, we're very good with our routines. Like, I don't think I think like this, and I wish I did. I'm not as organised as you, but I've never really sat down and thought deeply into things like this, and Curtis is definitely not a deep talker or thinker, so that doesn't help either. I'm really good with like managing everything I need to do. I just think I know what I need to get done, and I will just keep going until that's done, and I get everywhere on time or early, and I just will always give myself extra to allow for delays. So I'm really good with everything like that, really. I'm just, yeah, as I said, I'll just give myself extra time, and then that gives you what you need for if you are running late. But everything just runs really smoothly because it's sort of like routine we've got. Do you ever worry about your children not being able to buy a house in the future, go to uni, because your finances are diluted between them all? I don't worry though, because I think I have so much faith that I just think I know everything's going to be okay in the end. And I have lots of siblings, a couple which do maybe find things harder, and I know that they are okay. It's sort of like you can't worry about everything, and I will do my best to help my children the most I can in every way as their children to grow up. But once they're adults, it's out of your control. You can't make them do well. you can only help them plan for their future. Like recently, Cosmo really wanted to go to a grammar school. It was just what he really wanted. He didn't have to, he really wanted to. I didn't want him to be upset if he didn't get it. I mean, he is going in September. I just thought the best we can do is if he puts in all his effort on his end with the revising, the best I can do is get him a tutor and help him with his papers. That's the most I can do. Like, you can only do your best. So we did all of that and he did get in, which is amazing. But from now, like, he is very lazy. And I think being at grammar school will help push him. And I think he's going to find it quite difficult. But I will do my bit, which will be make sure he does all his homework, make sure he does any single thing he can that will help him in his education. I will help him. Like Curtis didn't go to uni. I will encourage my children to go to university. Curtis never went because his parents were just not the sort that said you should go to uni. Mine were the sort that did, and a few of my siblings have gone to uni. I wanted to, but I had Cosmo, and so I didn't get around to it. But I will sort of say to them, like, you need to go to uni. Also, I think I'm just going to make it sort of like a thing where they should really go to uni rather than go and get a job. Just think it's just a good thing to have. You may as well have it. So they are all expecting to go to university. And I also don't want them to rely on, like, Horatio really wants to do what Curtis does, being a joiner. But I don't want him to rely on that. I'd like him to have something else too for himself. So I will also say to him, like, he should still go to uni. I'm not saying he can't work with Daddy, but he does need to go to university and have something for him. So I think it's just like, all you can do is the best from your side, and you can't worry if things haven't gone the way you wanted, because you did your best and that is the most you can do. And I wouldn't say that I would want less children so that I know I would have a successful two. I'd rather have a nice big happy family. I think like maybe people just worry a bit too much. I don't think like you need to worry like that. Just as long as you are driven and you can help your children to be driven, and you are going to help them educationally, and you are going to help them with their jobs. Like, I will help my children as much as I can. So I don't worry about not being able to buy a house, because most people do. Like, I just think most people have jobs, houses, families. Just because you got one, two or a few that and you push them hard doesn't necessarily even mean they're going to have money, be able to buy a house or anything like that. I think it is a lot down to how you bring them up and how you make them feel they need to do. So we are really going to drive it into the children that they need to do well at school, they need to go to university, and after that, yeah, it's stressful, but my love for having them and my love for being with them and my love watching them grow, having a nice big family completely outweighs any worries of anyone when they're older, because I know I'm going to do my best for them. How do you plan for eventual future retirement as a stay-at-home mum? We know it's something we need to sort out, that and the budgeting, but we haven't yet. I guess life's just really busy. I don't worry as a stay-at-home mum. I have some family members that are not so nice and have said like, Laureen's put everything into Curtis, and if he leaves her she'll have nothing. I won't have nothing. Like, I know I'll be okay if he leaves me, which I hopefully does. I think I'll be okay. It doesn't scare me or worry me. I'm just that sort of person. I don't know, I guess I'm just like happy. I live life and I enjoy it, and I'm not going to worry about these stresses because life is so short. I just think it will be like me and Curtis will have to budget what we'll need to put away for retirement when he's at that age, which will be for us. And obviously if I'm not with him, I don't know, but I am saving at the moment. We are saving. You guys budget, so I answered that in the financial thing, which I don't think I've answered well, but it's hard because I'm not great at budgeting. I need to. We really should budget. I also would like to put some money away for the children. You talked about being broke. How did you guys get out of it? Basically, it's when Curtis was employed. I don't think from the sort of job that he does, you can ever make too much if you're employed. He was a joiner and he just worked for companies, and he just didn't get very much. I mean, like, he probably got as much as a normal, like, non-trade job. And you think, like, you've got this amazing trade. And I always said to him, like, you need to do your own thing. And my mum always said it to him too. One day he just had enough and he just left his work, just like suddenly. And it was the month of Flossie's was born, January 2021. I remember like being pregnant and crying and stressed out, thinking we're gonna have nothing. He's left his job. Very quickly work came in, and yeah, he's got his own business and he's doing it really well. So it just turned quite quickly. We just suddenly had more money, and it's really, really weird because we were so broke before. Like, we only had 2 children, 3 actually, yeah, 3. But we were living like... Okay, so I'm really sorry, my camera's died, so I'm going to film on my phone. Next part was, am I worried about being able to save for my children and having money for them when they're older? I'm not. My parents didn't save money for me when I was older. I don't think parents necessarily save money. I don't know if maybe it's more of an American thing. We have to save money for uni. Here, uni, you don't have to pay it back until you earn over a certain amount of money. So until you're like in a full-time job with an income, you don't pay anything back, and then you pay back monthly your uni fee. So they will get education free. I think because I've come from struggling myself, it doesn't scare me. It's not nice, but it doesn't scare me. I'm more actually really worried about them being nice people and making sure that they have somebody they love and have nice relationships and are happy. And I think maybe people are different in, like, you know, some people worry about money more and some people are not so. I know it's definitely nice to have and it's necessary in life, but it doesn't worry me. Just saying that has just made me realise that I am just conscious of making sure my children are happy and nice and have nice relationships, and even that they are nice to their partners, and that probably just like, yeah, worries me a bit more than the financial side of things. I mean, we'll definitely save and have savings that if they ever need anything, we'll be there to help them out. But it doesn't worry me. Curtis also, like, when I was a teenager, my dad bought my first car and he bought my siblings' first cars, and I think like that is definitely like more of a privilege, and most people don't have that sort of help, and I really appreciate it, but it's definitely not something that you sort of like expect to do, and I would love to do it for my children. But Curtis's parents didn't buy his first car. He did everything himself, and yeah, we struggled, but we were young when we started our family, which also wasn't necessary. I think like we didn't have to be broke. If we hadn't had children so early, then we could have both like got jobs properly and sorted everything out and settled down and then had children. We probably wouldn't have had so many children if we didn't have now what we have now. And then the final one was like, do we feel claustrophobic or stressed out living in a smaller home with so many children? And I don't. I mean, like, I know it's needed that we have a bigger home now, and obviously what's happened with our property sale is not our fault. Hopefully by the end of this year or beginning of next year, we will be moving. There's a lot of people in this house, but it just doesn't really feel it so much. Like, they have the 3 boys in one room in their bunk bed, and then it's a triple bunk, and they have lots of space still in their bedroom. Big garden. The front room, they're welcome to play in as much as they want. A lot of the time they play outside. If it's not nice weather, they'll play in their bedroom or in the front room, but I like them being around. I don't get stressed by them being near me or being messy, because they clear up well as well. Like, their bedroom's a mess, but if they've got things down here, they always take their toys upstairs. They don't, I ask them to, but it always goes back upstairs, so that's never stressful. Like, as long as everything's in the bedroom, it's out of my way. And then we have a big garden, which is amazingly helpful, I would say, if you do have lots of children and you're thinking of moving or you're looking for a property. Make sure it has a nice south-facing garden, because it needs to just be nice all day for the children. That is just like amazing for us. It's such a lifesaver. But the kids are really good. I said to Curtis like this weekend, they've been amazing. To have an 11, 8, 5, 3, 2-year-old, because he doesn't count at the moment, playing. I said, like, they've not watched TV. They watched TV Friday night. They watched one film and then that was it. But other than that, like, they played all weekend. I said to guys, like, for children of that age to like play without, they don't moan, they don't nag us, they don't ask for anything. Saturday we're at home all day. They were just amazing. Like, I think they do need a bit more credit for how they behave, because they just get on, and I think the best thing for that is to let them get on. Don't interfere, don't try and entertain them if they're entertaining themselves, and if they want you to entertain them, like, make them entertain themselves. That's just like a bit of a life update at the moment. Yeah, so more questions I have are baby related, so I think because Hero's nearly 3 months old, I'll do an updated video, answer the baby questions. I will update you on his routine because it is amazing. And yeah, just sort of like give a bit of an update in terms of that. So I hope you enjoyed watching my video and hearing all of it. I hope I sort of answered your questions. I'm happy to like do more and answer further if like I've sort of like not properly explained it. I'm happy to like answer anything again if you have more questions. But thanks so much for watching. Thank you for all being so lovely and so supportive and like interested in our life and our house move and everything like that. I really appreciate it. We all do. It's really nice. So I hope you all have an amazing rest of the week, and hopefully I will see you on my next video.
I'm gonna let the sun shine in today.